Hey everybody, how we doing here? Okay, this video, it was my first dig for the new year, 2014. Tough one too, because though I felt fine physically, I lost my voice the first weekend of the new year. So on Saturday, I went digging on a Saturday, which just passed us. Yeah, I went to the record store, I could hardly speak. I completely lost my voice, and I could barely talk like this, and still went digging because physically I felt fine, just couldn't talk worth a shit. I'm getting most of my voice back, so the year already started off kind of rough, but it didn't stop me from digging. So here we go. This is the new records for the new year, or the first vinyl dig for the year. First one up, one of my favorite bands of all time, Dream Theater. This is Fallen into Infinity. This came out just recently for the company was Music on Vinyl, and I love this album. Loved it since it first came out. It came out in the late '90s, and for Dream Theater fans, this is really not everyone. Like for the hardcore fans, this is not their favorite album. Claiming it was too commercial. The band was forced to go into for them, a commercial direction because of the new people in the their record label was forced them in that direction. To the point where the drummer Mike Portnoy was threatening to leave the band during this tour, supporting this album. So I think for Dream Theater fans and the band itself, it wasn't really the best time, but it was one of my favorite albums from them, and the album came with a lyric sheet and photos of the band, so there we go. And this was just released recently on 2-record set on 180 gram vinyl. I'll show you the labels. They all have the same label, so I'll just show you one record. That's the custom label for this. Yeah, so Dream Theater fans don't really rate this record very high, thinking it's too commercial. I love this album. I have great memories of this album. I actually saw them on this tour when they supported this record. It was the first time I ever seen Dream Theater live for me in San Francisco, and it was a great show. I had a blast there, and my memories of this album were I was living in Sacramento at the time, and me and a friend of mine, his name was John. He was one of the first friends I made in Sacramento when I moved there. We were both fans of Dream Theater. We were going to start our own band. We were trying to put together like a melodic hard rock band, and it just wasn't working out. Anyway, like I said, we were both fans of this record. I told him on a Friday night that this record just came out, and we both went to like Tower Records real late at night, like just past 11 o'clock at night. And both bought CDs of this album the week it came out, and I remember going back to his apartment getting really drunk off of cheap beer and spitting this for the very first time together as friends. We were trying to put a band together, and that's one of my best memories of this album was just discovering it with my friend John. And as we were getting just shit-faced on cheap beer listening to this for the first time. Good memories. Next up is from Phil Collins, a live album, Serious Hits Live. Live album from 1990 or 91, I believe it came out. This I had to find online. I bought it used online. And you know how it is, folks, when you order a used record online, you roll the dice. And it does skip on a couple of songs, but for the most part, it's in good condition. The cover is in excellent condition, and it's a gatefold. So you can see there's the gatefold. I'll put it close so you can see the pictures here. Those are all the live pictures. Really nice. And the vinyl is in good shape. It has the custom sleeves with more live photography, as you can see there. And they all have more or less have the same label on it, so I'll just show you one record. And it has the carousel Horse label. And there's the back one, a different color. A really great sounding live album. You would think, me being such a huge Phil Collins fan, I would have this on cassette and CD. I don't. I have it on DVD and VHS because a live concert video came out along with this. So I have the live DVD and video, and I figure every time I want to hear this music live, I'll just go to my DVD or my VHS. It's what kept me from buying the CD this whole time. So now I finally have it on vinyl. And, you know, for a used album that had to fly halfway across the world from Britain to me, it does skip on a couple of songs, but it's still in good shape and sounds fantastic. In the Air Tonight sounds like, I swear to God, it sounds like a thunderstorm in my speakers. When, you know, that big drum fill comes in, it just makes the whole room shake. It just sounds that good. And this is a really good live recording, and there's a picture of the stage. The carousel kind of opens up like that. They reveal the band and the concert lighting, so it's a real cool design on the stage. And Phil Collins' band sounds great live. Same thing with Genesis. They always sound better live than they do on the studio records, the songs. And though the songs sound great on the albums, you know, just live, it just goes to another level. And this is an excellent live recording, so real happy to put this in my Phil Collins collection. A new band I'm trying to discover, a band that I've heard people talk a lot about, and I never owned anything by them, so I thought I'd give them a shot. It's Gentle Giant. The name of this record is Three Friends. And is it Three Friends? Yeah, Three Friends. And I haven't listened to this one yet. Yeah, I've had these records since the weekend, and I just haven't, things have been so busy for me, I haven't had a chance to get to this album yet. But I have a lot of online friends that love Gentle Giant, and you know, a lot of people in the VC like them as well. So I do hear the name being thrown out a lot, but I just never really heard anything. I can always go on YouTube and check them out, but for some reason I just want to, the first time I want to hear their music is with an album, so I always held back on buying it. This came with the original insert, with all the advertisements on it, or lyrics, I mean, excuse me. It's all the lyrics on that, so there we go. Really nice. And it is on the Columbia label. And this record's really clean, but I wish I heard it before I turned this camera on, but it's been a busy week, folks. That first week of the year has been a busy one for me, but I'm really happy to put this in the collection. If I like what I hear, I think I'll go after the album Octopus. I've seen that shown online a lot on the VC Facebook, I mean. People always post pictures of the album. So, and I've seen it in the wild before, Octopus, and it usually fetches for like 12, 15 bucks. And so I wanted to hear a cheaper album, put it that way, because this only cost me a few dollars, this album. So I figure a few dollars, I'll listen to it. If I dig the sound and dig the band, then I'll go buy Octopus. I know where to find it if I need it, if I want to get it. So, really happy to put this in the collection, and we'll see if I dig it. Gentle Giant. This just takes me back to my early teens. Great White, Shot in the Dark. I saw this there. I've always seen this album there and never pick it up. I thought, why not? It's only a couple of dollars. Might as well go for it. And I like Great White. Well, the early 80s albums I like a lot, and all the way to the late 80s. And this one is a gold stamp promo, as we can see there. Really good album. I was listening to this over the weekend, and I was enjoying what I heard on this album. I always do, and with their records, always like them. And it's on the Capitol label. I remember me and my buddy Dave, summer of 1990, I believe it was, or 91. We went to go see Tesla at the Cal Expo Amphitheater here in Sacramento, and Great White was opening for them. So we got there early to watch the opening band, Great White. And they played one, they opened with a song from here. It was the song Shot in the Dark. That's what they opened with, and it sounded great. And I just remember that, and they also played the song Face the Day, which I thought was a good song, because it sounded great live, and you know, when you got a heavy metal crowd around you, it's a lot of fun. So you get into it, and I was really digging their performance that day. And I remember when I came home, I started buying a few Great White cassettes. This was one of them I used to have. Over the years I just lost it, so nice to have it again on vinyl. So really cool. Next up is Genesis Abacab. Of course, I had this record before, but the only reason I got this is because I don't have this color scheme. There's like 4 different Abacab album covers with this design, with just in different colors. I didn't have this color scheme yet. There's still one more I have to get, and I have all 4 Abacab colors. So, color covers. So, that's the only reason I bought this. And, you know, the only people who's going to understand stuff like that is people in the VC or just really crazy Genesis fans. It's fun to collect all the different versions of Abacab, so why not? This one I got out of curiosity because I knew Phil Collins produced this album and played drums on it. So, I'm a big fan of Phil Collins' drumming, so I wanted to check it out for that reason. And it's Frida, Something's Going On. I'm not a big Frida fan at all. I'm not an ABBA fan at all. But I did like that song, I Know There's Something Going On. I just forgot Phil Collins produced this album and played drums on every track. Well, every track that has drums on it. So I thought I would check it out just for that reason. I was actually surprised how much I liked this album. I didn't think I would like it too much because I'm just not a Frida fan. But I have to admit, this was a pretty good record. It's on the Atlantic label. And it was just basically pop rock music for the early 80s. I believe this came out in 1982. And I've seen a few documentary videos on the making of this album on YouTube. And it's really inspiring to see Phil Collins, the producer, as he's helping her record the music on this record. Phil Collins actually looks like a really good producer, hands-on producer, and he even did some singing. Of course, he put the band together, and the band that's on this album was the band on a lot of Phil Collins solo records. Gerald Sturmer on guitar, Peter Robinson on piano and keyboards, Mo Foster on the bass, Earth, Wind & Fire horn section appears on a couple of songs. So basically, if you like bass value and Hello Must Be Going, this might actually entertain you quite a bit. It did with me, so I'm surprised I liked it so much. This is really cool. This is from Stevie Nicks. It's called Crystal Visions, the very best of Stevie Nicks. Basically, it's the best of all her solo material. There's a few Fleetwood Mac songs on here, but live versions and a remix version of some couple of Fleetwood Mac songs. This is a 2-record set. It's a gatefold album. And there's the gatefold with some nice looking pictures of Stevie Nicks. And because it has all her solo hits, like Edge of 17, I Can't Wait, If Anyone Falls in Love. It does have Silver Springs, live version, not recorded studio version of Silver Springs, a song that was supposed to be on the Rumors album, but because you can only fit so much music on a vinyl record, they had to start cutting songs off. That was one of them that got chopped. It was a song she wrote and she liked a lot, and so it appears here, the studio version of the song with Fleetwood Mac. There's a kind of a dance version of Dreams from Fleetwood Mac on here, like a remixed dance version. I really didn't care for that, but it wasn't bad, but I prefer the original version. Really great live version of Rihanna. from 1997. Rhiannon. She sings it so well, and record 2 has a lot of her great songs as well. There's a few songs, live recordings with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. I think they play on the song Landslide and Edge of 17. So if you're a fan of Stevie Nicks' solo work, this is a pretty enjoyable record set to have. 2 records on 180 gram vinyl, and I'll show you the custom labels. There's the first side, and then side 2 here. That's the artwork for the other side. Really nice. And it's one of those things that I knew I liked a couple of her songs until I see the list. I didn't realize how many of her solo songs I liked. So I went ahead and got this, and it came with it comes with a lyric sheet and an essay of her memories of each song, how it was written, and her story she tells with each song is all printed here with a few pictures on the insert here. Really cool collection. I've spun this a couple of times and really loved it. It's one of those things, I knew I liked a few of her songs, but until I started actually spinning them, I realized, man, I like a lot of her tunes. And a 2-record set, it should feel like labor to get through them, but really the time flew by, and I went to both records, and it just seemed like time went by like that. I really enjoyed this. Okay, I'm gonna get some 12-inch singles here. This one's pretty rare, and when I saw this, I was shocked because I'd never seen this before, and this is so cool. This is from Rush, a 12-inch single for the song Red Sector A on the A side. On the B side, we have The Enemy Within. There's not much of a cover, so I'll just show you what the hype sticker looks like. And what is so cool about this 12-inch single is it's on colored vinyl. Let me get it out here for you. So naturally, Red Sector A, you would think it's on red vinyl. So here's the record. Really awesome looking record too. And there's the label. And Red Sector A and The Enemy Within are 2 of my favorite songs off of the Grace for Drowning album. So it was kind of cool to find both songs on a 12-inch single, and then to find it in red vinyl. It's just absolutely cool as hell. And once I saw this, oh yeah, it had to be mine. I'm a big Rush fan, so you see something like this, you grab it up immediately. So I felt really lucky to find this. Really lucky. I do believe there's a 7-inch version of this, which is also in red vinyl. So it would be nice to find that as well. I'm not going to hold my breath because I feel really lucky to have this, but Rush is just my favorite band, and anything rare by them, I'll pick it up in a heartbeat. So really cool to add this to the Rush collection. And something going to the Steve Hackett collection. 12-inch single for the song A Doll That's Made in Japan is the name of the song of the 12-inch single from Steve Hackett. And on the B side, we have the song Just the Bones. I very rarely see any Steve Hackett 12-inch singles. I think it's about the 3rd 12-inch single of his I have in my collection. And it is on Lamborghini Records is the label. So pretty cool. Yeah, this is another one. If I see it, I grab it immediately because it's really hard to come by any of his 12-inch singles. So when I see him, I snatch him up. Really love the music of Steve Hackett. Such a great guitar player. When he left Genesis, he took a lot of his magic away with him. The things that you like about the Lamia and Fert the Fifth. When he left Genesis, that part of the magic left with him, and oh man, he is such a great guitarist and writer. Really love his music, so really happy to put this in the collection from Steve Hackett. The last 12-inch single is from Journey for the song Who's Crying Now. That's no big deal. because I've heard the song like a billion times, like everyone else with an FM radio. But what interests me about this 12-inch single is what they have on the B side, which is called The Journey Story. See right there, The Journey Story. And this is a 12-inch single that came out in the UK for fans to get familiar with the history of the band. So on the B side, we do have the history of Journey. It's on CBS, is the label. And it's narrated, so it's like about 4 or 5 minutes long, and narrated by a British DJ. So it sounds like something you would hear on a radio show. And he basically tells the whole history of the band from 1975 to that point, which would have been 81, the Escape album. And he just tells about, you know, the original members and plays, there's like maybe 20, 30-second clips of the earlier songs dating from 75 all the way to 81. And he's narrated in between all the way to the present at that time, like I said, which was 81. So it was a pretty interesting thing to listen to. So I just got to hear that. I came here and listened to it. It's you know, like I said, it sounded like something you would hear on a FM or AM a rock and roll radio show back in the early 80s. It was. I just bought it for that kind of nostalgia. It was really cool to have. All right, a couple of 7-inch singles from the band OMD. This 7-inch single for the song Telegraph, which was from the Dazzle Ships album. And on the B side, we have the song 66 and Fading. Really nice. And let me see what label it's on while we're on the subject. It's on the Virgin label and Gray Virgin label. Never really seen that one before, so really, really cool. I have to listen to the Dazzle Ships album a little bit more often than I do. I usually listen to Crush and Architecture and Morality. So for some reason I always skip over the Dazzle Ships album, which is too bad because it's actually a good album. Not their most successful album from the band OMD, but a good album nonetheless. And this one's really cool. 7-inch single from Pink Floyd for the song Take It Back, which is from the Division Bell album. And take it out here so you can see. Really cool. I gotta get the Division Bell on vinyl because this little record sounds fantastic. And that's one of my favorite songs from that album, Take It Back. And on the B side we have Astronomy Domine, which is a live recording, probably taken from Pulse, because I remember that was on Pulse. So, really cool. That's going to be probably my goal for the year, hopefully, to find the Division Bell on vinyl. If not, then buy Pulse, if I have like damn near $150 to kill. But I sat there and listened to this song, Take It Back. It sounded so amazing coming out of my speakers. Yeah, I really love that song, and so I'm really happy to have this. Well, that's going to do it, folks. That's my first vinyl dig for 14. Just before 2013 ended, on December 28th, I did another show with my band, Broke Note on Return. Well, not my band, but the band I drum for. And it was kind of like a reunion gig in a way. We opened up, it was like one of the last festivals in Modesto. There was like 9 bands, and we were the first of 9 bands to play. We kicked the festival off. We have a great crowd watching us. I thought we wouldn't get hardly anyone watch us since we were the first band, but a lot of people got there early just to see us, and they kind of made us feel important, so it was a good gig too. We were in good spirits, we played really good. Everybody was into it. We got nothing but compliments afterwards. A lot of people came up to me and said how much they liked my drumming. It was a good night. It was a real good night, and we're going to do it all again in February. So that should be a lot of fun. Well, that's going to do it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, folks.